Hey guys, my name is Dylan with the anime summary. Team survivors are sitting down at the guild house and are having a conversation about Kizuna being a lot calmer than usual. Tina recalls having given an igniter from her previous master at the academy and thanks Kizuna. She compliments him on his outfit, which makes Kizuna really excited and happy. Nick gets straight to the point on why they've gathered, pulling out a load of items. He then orders them to protect the funds as a whole. Nick throws on the table 2 bronze pieces and 3 small bronze pieces, revealing to them that it is all what's left. Nick then motivates the group on getting ready to adventure to obtain more coins. Karan meets up with Team Survivors the next morning at the same place. They make their way into an ice dungeon when further inside, Team Survivors sees a Rosetsu ogre. They use telepathy to communicate to not give their hiding spot away, and Nick tells them it's not the same one that they fought. With each time after defeating one, it becomes a lot stronger over time. Karan goes behind the ogre and is still amazed that she can still hear them. Kizuna charges the ogre with a sword, showing the group his true powers. The ogre launches a massive fireball towards Kizuna, but when it's about to connect, he knocks it away. Kizuna uses Parallel to summon another clone of himself and successfully take down the ogre. Nick comes over and after and says he feels somewhat tired, then Kizuna is blunt and replies stating that while being connected, he is using everyone's stamina and magic powers. Kizuna tells them that the sword skills were installed into him, absorbing techniques from past swordsmen who have used him. Nick says that they are glad to be fighting alongside him but don't plan on using the special power union since after defeating the golem they passed out. After finishing the mission, the group uses telepathy to communicate on what they're going to do after, with the group splitting off to do their own separate things for now. Back in the Labyrinth City, Karan, Nick, and Kizuna notice a crazy food smell inside a building. Nick recalls the building where he and his ex-girlfriend Claudine had their breakup, but before telling them, they go inside. Once inside, the group is sitting down at the bar enjoying their delicious food and beverages. Nick hears a voice and turns around to see Claudine being given a gift from a young man. He is shocked about the same thing happening to the boy all over again. Claudine makes up a lie to the boy, saying that her mother is sick and will need lots of money to be able to travel to her, trying to guilt trip the boy. Before the boy agrees to help her to be able to see her mother, Nick takes a seat next to him, relaying the stuff she said to him, which makes the boy question her telling the truth. Nick tells Claudine if she sells the item the boy gave to her that she will be arrested for stealing. Claudine leaves the building furious, knowing that her plan was spoiled by Nick. He gives the boy his gift back and returns to eating with Karan and Kizuna. They return back to the guild house with Team Survivors to talk about the upcoming quest they can take on for good rewards. Then out of nowhere from behind, Claudine spills a drink all over Nick. The guy next to Claudine introduces himself as Leon, a part of the White Tigers, telling Nick to step outside with them so they can have a chat. They make their way into an alleyway with Leon apologizing to Nick for treating him ruthlessly. Leon assumes that with Nick's new party that he's taking advantage of their group. Nick starts laughing like crazy, then punches Leon, knocking him down. Leon pulls a dagger, aiming at Nick, but he dodges and pins Leon to the ground. Then from behind, a mage uses wind magic to knock Nick to the ground. Nick gets mad at the fact that it's 2 against 1, then Karan arrives, evening up the score, tying up the mage. Vilma appears, telling them to knock it off, and then Leon challenges Team Survivors to a mathematics bare knuckle battle. Inside the guild house, Vilma informs both parties that there will be 10 rounds total. That being said, each team has 1 person, each partaking in mathematics and brawling, with each round ending when one side solves all the math problems. Then lastly telling them that each math problem set will get tougher than the previous set. Vilma shows them a box to draw from, determining who will do the math portion for each team. Everyone draws, with Karan and Claudine representing each party for the math section, with Karan freaking out not knowing how to do math. Team Survivor spends the next week training, coming up with strategies on how to win, with Zem hanging out with girls all day. In the bar, Zem is hanging out with a bunch of ladies gathering intel on the White Tigers. One lady sits down with Zem, telling him that a strange man had wavy flaxen hair with blue eyes, lastly having pink fingers with a great voice. The next day, Claudine wakes up from her nightmare, determined to get revenge on Nick. The mathematics bare knuckle competition begins, with Nick selecting himself going against Leon as the brawler. Karan has a seat, and when she receives the problems, is hyped, having studied them the previous week. While Nick is brawling, he notices that Leon isn't attacking, realizing that he's buying time for Claudine to do her math problems. Karan raises her hand to tell Vilma that she has finished all of the problems. They judged the points with Kuron receiving an 86 while Claudine received a 98. Kuron apologizes to Nick for having him face the penalty. Nick says not to worry, receiving a blow to the stomach. Round 2 of the match begins with Nick knowing that it's not the brawlers who will decide the outcome of the match, but the people doing the math problems. The second round ends with Claudine winning again, 98-79 against Kuron. He gets hit in the face but tells Kuron to be more positive not having received any of the blows. Kuron blames it on herself for getting hit because of the fact that she isn't smart. Nick tells her the truth that he was ready to get hit a dozen times a week prior. Then states that when she first started she would get 80% of the questions wrong and that he's only gotten hit twice. Kuron gets excited, telling Claudine that she can do something that she wouldn't be able to do before. While the third round starts, she's hyped to do more math, not worrying about Nick since he's been supportive of her progress. Tiana goes with a plan, creating more smoke, then smashing her item onto the box. She tells Vilma that they are wasting time with the match and suggests that they should do the remaining problems all at once. Vilma tells Tiana if they agree to do so, he'll be taking all the remaining hits at once. Nick agrees for the challenge. Leon notices that they're trying to stop them from buying time. The final round begins. Kuron starts speedrunning it, which worries Claudine. Claudine starts cheating by using telepathy from a faraway tower to ask Beck for all of the answers. Tiana starts skinning around the town, knowing that Claudine would cheat, and sees a red aura from the tower far away. Tiana, Zem, and Kuzuno start making their way out of the fight towards the aura. While Beck is figuring out the 30-second question, the group surprises him from behind. Claudine notices that Beck is taking a long time to answer her question, getting frustrated, smashing her hands onto the table. The group arrives back, having caught Beck for cheating, and he apologizes for messing up. Tina shows everyone the thought gem for them using telepathy. Royal guards arrive and arrest the White Tigers. While being taken away, Claudine says that she was never a bad person to begin with Kuron replying that maybe she went off the right path. Tiana also tells her that if she realized that she made a mistake, that she could always go back and fix it regardless. Later that night, the group is celebrating their win at the diner. Nick compliments Kuron on doing a good job with the math problems. Tiana chips in, saying that what she learned will also help her in her daily life. Team survivors laugh inside and a mysterious man smashes the roof while running. In the night, Leon is being interrogated by a royal knight who pressures him into telling him where the treasure he stole is at. Leon tells the guard that the whole thing he was hiding was the swords of destruction, with the sword crashing through a wind panel getting in between them. At the casino, where Tiana is having a conversation along with Kuzuno and Nick in another room, a group of people are running away from the exit when all of a sudden Leon appears transformed using the swords of destruction, looking for Nick. While using the sword's power, he gains an increasingly better sense of smell, wanting to destroy Nick for putting him in the position he is in. Recalling from when they met in the alleyway that he was always envious of Nick from the very beginning, Leon wanting to hopefully become like him one day. Leon smells Nick and starts heading into the direction. At the end of the room, Leon confronts Tiana, having previously met. Tiana questions Leon on what he wants with Nick. Leon replies, stating that he wants to crush him. Then he tells Tiana to tell him where he is unless she wants to be taken down instead. Leon puts his fist on top of Tiana and tells her to make a decision. Tiana then pulls out her igniter. While Leon is distracted, then she attacks him with the igniter, giving her enough time to run away. While staring at each other, Leon notices from his smell that Tiana has a smell of hope and resignation. Leon goes for the finish with the swords of destruction, but Nick arrives, deflecting the attack with the sword of bonds. Knowing that Leon needs extra power, he uses the sword of destruction to increase his size to become even larger than before. With the swords of bonds power, Tiana and Nick combine in one to face Leon. Not having control over his powers, Leon starts wreaking havoc in the casino. He wants to stop but can't get himself to do it, with the swords of destruction encouraging him to continue. Tiana and Nick use an ice shield to try and slow down Leon from destroying anything further. Leon feels motivated, not knowing he's a bad person at heart and wants everything to come to an end. Tiana and Nick use a deck of cards from the table to nullify the sword's power and put an end to Leon's rampage. Later that night, Leon is locked up in a maximum security cell when Nick shows up in front of them to have a chat. Nick reports to Leon that no one was hurt in the process at the building, then informs him that he sealed the swords of destruction away for good. Nick walks away pleased to know that Leon has changed his way of thinking for the better. The next day, Nick is going on a run, then turns around to see Agate, shocking, thinking to himself that he was hearing things. They sit on a bench alone, and Agate assumes that Nick has a goal set in mind. Agate knows that Nick is not alone anymore, having his party back him up, also being really happy for him growing as a person. Nick is confused on what they are talking about, with Agate questioning Nick if he remembers about the tickets she gave him at the fountain on the rainy day. Agate is honest and thought of two scenarios, with either being glad that she gave it away or should have never been given it to him in the first place. Agate rambles on about having the greatest feeling for an idol is for someone to care about you, but having some people take it way too far. Then states that each time she saw him in the stands, she was glad. Nick tells her that if he's being honest, that if he didn't head to her concert and become an idol otaku, that his life would have ended up as a criminal instead. Agate compliments Nick for having great conversations with him. Nick knows that she's been going through a lot in life, having all of her recent concerts cancelled and also cutting off all of her public appearances. She replies saying that nothing is bothering her but has loads of worries with everything going on. Agate picks up a dog and tells Nick that a stray dog can be strong as well, implying that Nick is also a strong person. Nick reassures her that after solving each problem, she is moving one step further as a person. They both look out into the sky, appreciating each other's company. Later that night at Agate's concert, Nick and the boy who was talking to Claudine are excited to see her perform, being back with the solo. Before performing, she tells the crowd that she met a goddess, telling the crowd the incident at the casino. Then she recalls the union transformation from Nick and Tiana, not knowing it was them together, saying that the song she wrote for them when she was thinking about her is called The Beautiful Platinum. The crowd gets excited and she starts performing the song with Nick amazed about her. While singing, she recalls the new name for the hero being the Paladin, which inspired her to become a real idol. The next day, on the same bench, Nick is sitting down when Agate starts having a conversation with him behind a bush. Nick cuts to the chase to make sure Agate is okay, and he states that he noticed while they were talking the last time that something was bothering her. If you guys like what you saw, be sure to subscribe, like the video, and we'll see you in the next video. Hope you guys have a great day. Peace.